Guys, it's Lady Raven, the Wild Witch. I'm glad to see everybody here today. And today I expanded our broadcast. So, because now I learned how to use this platform. So we're going to be broadcasting both on the Wild Witch page, on the YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, and also on the Raven Moon Emporium page. So you have many different ways to catch this live teaching. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So today, one of the things we're going to be here to talk about is Aries season. So we just came into Aries season not long ago. I think it was beginning of last week is when Aries season showed up. And so those of you that have a birthday this month, congratulations, happy birthday. But even if you are not an Aries yourself, there are still quite a few things that you can benefit from being in Aries season. There's a lot of things that this energy is offering you. So this is kind of some of the things we're going to talk about today to find out what are some of the things that you can do to take advantage of all this beautiful Aries energy that's happening right now. And I actually have a little note today because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. So I took little notes. So basically, let's think about what that Aries energy is all about, right? Aries energy is all about that kind of like full steam ahead kind of a situation. Like, we're going to go ahead and we're going to be go-getters. Aries is courageous. Aries is not afraid to take on new challenges. Aries is not afraid to tell people what they think. Aries is kind of fearless. It's one of the most fearless signs in the zodiac. So if you are in Aries, you are kind of somebody that is kind of in the forefront of things all the time, because that is the energy that your sign brings. So it's basically full steam ahead is where Aries lives. Aries doesn't just do something kind of in a half-ass way. When Aries does it, Aries does it. It goes in with both feet in order to get done whatever it needs to do. This energy, because there's a couple of different things to think about. First of all, remember we're in spring season. But second of all, hey, Paula, good to see you in my new platform. But the second thing is that we can think about Aries as being the beginning of the zodiac year, right? So a lot of times people refer to Aries as the zodiac, the baby of the zodiac, and not baby as in like helpless baby, but in baby is it the idea for potential, the potential for new things to happen, the potential for new opportunities. And because Aries is not shy about asking for what they want and trying to go for what they want, this time of the year really symbolizes a time that you can really kind of move full steam ahead into getting the things that you actually want into your life. So this is the energy that the universe is offering for you from now until about the 20th of next month. So take advantage of it. This is not something that comes around. I mean, it comes around once a year, basically. So take advantage of it. What are some of the other things to be concerned about with Aries energy? So Aries is not known for being patient with people or with themselves a lot of times. When Aries wants something, they want it now. They don't want to wait. So Aries can be very impulsive. Sometimes when making decisions, they see something and something's not moving fast enough for them. A lot of times they will, instead of taking a step back and evaluating why it is that this is moving so slow, they'll just jump in and says, well, I can fix it. So keep that in mind when you're working with this energy, because it is going to have an impact on you. So if you're somebody like me who tends to make rash decisions or impulsive decisions, during this time, you are going to be even more inclined to do that. So just kind of take a step back and truly evaluate where you are with things. I want to make this decision right now. Is it really a good decision for me to make? Or is this something that I should maybe think about and decide what it is that I'm going to do, before I do it? Sorry, this is kind of crooked and it's really kind of driving me crazy. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. So this is one of the things that you can tune into with this Aries energy to see where it is that you can take it to. You can really become very impulsive. So there's a difference between taking advantage of this energy to improve your life for new beginnings, or to just do things because they're in front of you. So keep that in mind as you move forward. Aries is also going to bring all of that fire energy and all of that Mars energy, right? Mars is pure power, which is why Aries is a sign that a lot of times Aries is a handful. Aries is not, I would say, not the one sign you want to piss off generally in the zodiac. Aries has a lot of that innate power behind it because it has Mars standing behind it. The thing to keep in mind about Mars is that Mars is a kind of this giant furnace of energy that is going to keep pushing. You need to have an outlet for that furnace, because if you don't have an outlet for that, that energy will just sit there and churn in your system, and it can manifest in very negative ways for you in self-destructive behaviors, in different types of depression or anxiety. It can manifest in addiction behaviors, all kinds of things like that, if that energy that's being pushed is not being used. So if you're somebody who is in Aries, you are constantly generating energy. You're not somebody who just says, I'm going to chill out in the bathtub for now. Not only are you a fire sign, you are also a fire sign that's ruled by Mars, right? It's an enormous amount of energy in your system all the time. Put it to good use. Take that energy and do the best that you can with that energy to be able to move it forward, and to keep it from being stagnant in your system and from just kind of starting to do whatever it wants. And this is the thing, Mars is, it is a lot of times called the planet of chaos, right? And a lot of people, and this is kind of my pet peeve, and those of you who know me probably already know this, and those of you who don't, you're getting ready to be exposed. So what it is I see people all the time that burn dragon's blood for everything. And then they wonder why it is that things blow up in their lives all the time. And that's because dragon's blood is an energy that's very much tied with the planet of Mars. And Mars is the planet of power, but it is also the planet of chaos. So when you work with Mars and you want to be able to control that power and where it goes, a little bit goes a long way. So think of it as a hammer, right? The more you have, the further back in the hammer you're holding, you have all this power, but you have no control. Things are going to kind of go wherever they want to go. If you hold it a little bit closer to the front, then you're going to have more control, but not nearly as much power. But it's not going to wreak havoc or chaos in your life. So make sure that when you're working with Mars energy, a little bit goes a long way. Don't take a whole bunch of it to start with. Take a little, see how that does. Am I still good? Can I still control it? Am I still doing well with it? Okay, great. I'm going to add a little bit more. And that is how you build that energy to turn it into something that's going to have a positive outcome for you, instead of something that's just kind of going everywhere. So those are some of the important things of working with that Mars energy that's part of Aries. So Aries doesn't come by itself this month. It's going to come with the fire element. It's going to come with Mars. So all of those energies this month are going to be available to you. And whether or not it's going to benefit you is going to be a matter of how you decide to work with that energy. The other thing that Aries brings is courage. So if you've been kind of chickening out from having difficult conversations with people, from taking on new challenges or new tasks, anything that you've been kind of going, oh God, self-doubt, I don't know if I can do this, all of that, Aries is here to give you a boost. So Aries is going to make you feel better about yourself. It's going to give you more confidence. It's going to help you to say, no, I can do this, and take that step forward. Take advantage of that. So if you're feeling more confident now during the month that you were last month, go ahead and do the things that have been sitting that maybe you didn't have the confidence to do. Instead of sitting on them again, go ahead and move them forward, because this is the energy that Aries is bringing you for this time. We're going to have Taurus next month. It's going to be a whole different ball of wax to look at. This is the month of getting things moving in your life. So that's why it's important to use that Aries energy. Be straight with yourself. So this is the other thing. So Aries is not an energy that likes people who love lots of bullshit. Aries has very low tolerance for that kind of stuff. Don't tell lies to people, or even worse, to yourself. So if something's happening that maybe you're the cause of it, don't make yourself the victim and say, oh, you know what, so-and-so did. So take a look. Aries is very much about accountability. Look at the situation. How did I contribute to this situation? And then make a change. So the first step to making changes is owning up to your part in the situation. And this is going to be something that if you decide this month that you're going to try to work with this Aries energy, but you are not going to take responsibility for your actions, Aries is going to beat you up. You're going to get a beating from Aries, because Aries does not like that. Aries wants you to be accountable. It wants you to be in your face. Aries is fearless. And when you don't take responsibility for your actions, that to Aries, that's seen as kind of like a little bit of cowardice, so to speak. So look at your situation. See what are the things that you contributed to it? What are the things that I can take responsibility from right now, and I can move it forward to a better place? That's the energy that Aries is bringing for you. The other thing about Aries is Aries has a lot of bursty energy, which means that it may necessarily be good for long term. So Aries is probably one of those signs that are going to start a whole bunch of things, whatever appeals to them at that moment, but they don't necessarily have the staying power to go all the way through, because Mars and fire are extremely bursty. So think of goals you can work on this month in the short term. There may be things you want to work on in the long run, don't get me wrong, but what are the things in the short term that may need a lot of power to get those long-term things going? And that should be really your focus for the things you want to do this month. So lots of energy there for you. And last but not least, one of the things that Aries does fantastically well is manifestation. So because Aries is not afraid to put its nose to the grindstone and do what needs to be done, Aries is always a great manifester. It's got that power behind it. A lot of times it's going to have a lot of luck behind it. And Aries is basically going to be, it's the idea behind Aries is, if I want something and I work hard enough for it, I'm going to get it. So you can get it as long as you put the effort in. So take advantage of that energy this month to put the effort in and make sure that it doesn't go to waste. So that's one part of working with Aries energy. So the second time, so how are some of the things that you can also take out of Aries to make changes in your personal life? Become the leader of your life, which means, once again, this goes back to ownership, goes back to looking at how things are going around you and saying, these are the things that I'm doing that I can change, that I'm going to take ownership of. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my goodness. Sorry. Sorry, I had food poisoning last night, so it was a very difficult night. Become the leader in your own life. So look and say, okay, what are the things that I can change in my life in order to make things better? What are the things that I need to step into that are completely within my control? I may not have liked it. Maybe I didn't initiate it, but my reaction to it probably made it a lot worse. So how can I step in now and fix that? So be the leader in your own life. Constantly evaluate your role in things, because then, only then, can you make changes in it. And can you start changing the outcome of the things in your life that are maybe not going so great? That's number one. Start new things and new projects for this month. So if you've got that thing you've been sitting on, this is the month. Not only do you have spring energy, you have Aries energy, both of those on top of you, pushing things forward, new beginnings, new growth, all of this, all of that energy is pushing out. Take advantage of it. Take back your power on situations that make you feel powerless. A lot of this also has to do with ownership, right? When do we feel powerless? When we put ourselves in the victim role. So-and-so did that to me. They said mean things to me. Okay, they could have said mean things to me. You choose. Are you going to sit there and be hurt by it? Or are you going to decide that they're a bunch of morons and you're just going to walk away and leave them alone? So those are decisions that you can make. You can't change the things that other person is doing, but you can change the things that you do in reaction and in how you cope with these different situations that come your way. And this is what Aries is all about. Take ownership of the parts that are truly yours so that you can change it. You can't keep reacting the same way and expect different results. And Aries is going to be punching us in the face if we decide that we're going to do that, because Aries is not very tolerant of that. Take a leap of faith or a creative risk. So this is, what are you working on this month that's going to say, oh, God, I'm a little nervous about that. I may not be able to get that. This is the month. Give it a try. Take a leap of faith. Say, hey, you know what? I'm going to try it. What's the worst that can happen? It doesn't happen. If I don't do anything, it doesn't happen. So there's no harm in me actually trying something, because the worst that can happen is whatever is happening right now, which is nothing. So take that leap of faith and move forward if you need to. Prioritize taking action over just thinking and planning. And that's the other thing, right? Aries is not really a planner or a good, like, oh, let's come up with this beautiful plan we're going to implement. Aries is a doer. So Aries is like, I see something that needs done, I need to do it. Planning is not really Aries' strong suit. So instead of, if you've been sitting on something in the planning stages for a long time, now is the time to move up to the point where you're going to take action on it. So definitely take that action as you move things forward. Start releasing control instead of taking control. The more things you take control of, the more things that become your responsibility, even things that are not under your control sometimes, speak from experience. If we are control freaks, we're going to take on all of that and go say, this is mine, and this is mine, and this is mine. That does two things. First of all, it sets us up for failure, because if you're taking ownership over things that are not yours, that you can't control, you're never going to succeed. So right then and there, you're set up for failure. But number two is it fills our plate with things that can possibly be delegated to other people, things that maybe we don't need to be engaged in. So instead of being engaged in the things that we need to be engaged in, we are then engaged in these things that are just for the sake of control, that may make us feel better, but we're not really needed. Or we're also not maybe moving it along fast enough, where we should release those things and really focus on the ones that we have the skills, are within our control, and we can change the outcome. Those are the ones that should have our focus. Be your own hero and find your independence. Aries is a sign that doesn't really give two craps about what other people think or say about them. Aries doesn't care. Aries is like, you have your opinion, goody for you. I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do. That is the amount of confidence that Aries brings to the table. So this is the time for you to do that for yourself. Stop polling people for what you should do in your life. What do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? When I start polling people, I already know that I'm sitting in a bad place. Stop doing that. Take a step back and say, okay, instead of polling people, what are the actions that I can take right now that will have impact? What are the things that I can let go of, maybe, that are holding me back? What are the things that I'm sitting here not taking ownership of that maybe I need to because they're partly my fault? So that is an evaluation that needs to happen. When you start polling people, generally it means that you are in a place where you are kind of hiding something from yourself, or if there's a truth you don't want to face. So you start polling people to get a different answer that's going to satisfy yourself a little bit better than trying to face the truth of the situation that you're in. So just be very wary when you start doing that. Generally, it's not a good sign. Explore your entrepreneurial spirit, right? If there's that one thing you've always wanted to try, no matter how silly it is. So let's say I want to go skydiving. I've always wanted to do it. And so this month, say, you know what? I'm going to go on Groupon. I'm going to find myself a coupon because maybe I can't afford the price of the whole thing. And I'm going to go. And I'm going to try it once and for all. Embrace that spirit. That is your connection to this energy of Aries, is that embracing that idea of, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take a risk. I accept the challenge. I'll step up to the plate, right? All of those things are within the purview of that Aries energy. So that allows you to step in and say, okay, I've arrived. I'm here and I'm ready to kick some ass, guns blazing. That is what Aries does. So the minute you step into it like that and you say, it's a big risk, I'm going to do it, I'm going to try it, you're immediately connected to that energy. So take advantage of the energy this month to do a lot of those things that you're doing. So the one thing that I'm going to say is, if you're somebody that's working on your yearly project, right? Like we spoke about the last time, we talked about what spring season brings you. Now, not only do you have spring season, you have Aries season that is giving you that boost, right? The universe is practically screaming at you, make changes, take action, do something new, bring something different to the table. Those are the things that maybe you need to do this month. If your life feels like it's stuck, that it's not going anywhere, what are the things you can do to change it up? Can you start a new business? Can you start a new relationship? Can you walk away from something toxic? What are the things that maybe cause a little bit of anxiety to do them? But in the end, they're going to have big, big results for you. And that's really what you want to be stepping into with that energy of both Aries and spring at your back. So that's pretty much Aries energy for you for this month. If anybody, I'm going to put this out there. If anybody has any questions about anything that I said, go ahead and type it. I'm so excited because I can see questions from any platform now. Woohoo! As opposed to before where I could only see it from one. But in the meantime, I'm going to tell you about tomorrow. So tomorrow, we are going to be doing a live, and we're going to have a lot of crystals and blends and things that are going to be great for tapping into that Aries energy. It's kind of going to be a little bit of that daredevil energy, a little bit of that energy of going for it, of no regrets, just moving forward. So that is the energy that's going to be available tomorrow. And that is what we're going to be talking about during our live tomorrow. So I hope you all join us. I also am going to be doing a poll. I'll probably start it tomorrow. I'll bring it up tomorrow, but then I'm going to bring it up here as well. So those of you watching this video can respond. I'm thinking about moving the lives to this platform. The benefit of that is that it would appear on YouTube. It would appear on 2 Facebook pages. The negative of it is it wouldn't be on Instagram. So I don't know how you guys feel about that. So I would love to get some feedback of whether or not you guys feel that this would be a good thing to do, to move it to this platform. Would the Facebook platform be easier for you to bid, and for you to, it will be easier for me to be able to see your bids and to see what you're doing. So Angelique says, sounds great. Awesome. So I want to just get an overall feedback. I'm going to ask it today, and I'm going to ask it tomorrow during the live as well. And so just kind of let me know where you would prefer to do it. And what I may end up doing is moving it here a couple of times and seeing how it goes. And if it doesn't go well, then we'll move it back to Instagram. I mean, we can always go back to Instagram, but I just like the idea of having this format instead of a tiny little screen where you can see things better, right? So this way, if you're watching from your computer on Facebook, you can have a big screen, or you can see it live on YouTube. You can have a big screen that you can see it in, and it may be able to be to showcase the product a little bit better. So that's one of the things that I really, really, really am looking forward to. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. And tomorrow, hopefully, I will see you guys on Instagram. We're not moving yet. So tomorrow we'll be on Instagram at 5 o'clock for our live sale on the Raven Moon Emporium account. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.